I sent my cards to PSA to get graded, and they have finally returned today. We're going to see what these beautiful cards got. And if you live in Ontario, Canada, and you're looking to get your cards graded, check out KD Collectibles, because that's who I went with, and they delivered the goods. Now, let's not waste any more time and get right into it. All right, so here we go. Here's our first card. So, okay, so we've got the Charizard V from Brilliant Stars. So this is one of my favorite cards from the Sword and Shield era. It's a really nice card. I'm going to be honest, a little bit off center here on this side. I think this is going to be a PSA 9. We're going to find out right here. And yes, it is a PSA 9. Still a beautiful grade, still a great card. Fantastic. All right, so we got our first PSA 9 right here. That's the lowest we've gotten so far, obviously, because it's our first card. And here we go. We've got some really secret rare cards in this one, and there we go. So we've got the Gengar VMAX from Fusion Strike, the super difficult card to pull, one of the most awesomest looking cards. Now I'm looking at this card and I'm looking at the centering of it here. This one is a little bit less off than it was on the Charizard. So you know what? I am going to say PSA 10 for this Gengar VMAX. I'm going to give it the 10, and we're going to find out here right now if it does get a Gem Mint 10. Alrighty, Roo, look at this. So that is our first PSA 10. I would have preferred the Gengar in a PSA 10, and we got ourselves a Gem Mint 10. Whoo! Fusion Strikes VMAX Gengar. That is insane. Just insane. Whoo! I am so pumped right now. That is amazing. Okay, so we got a PSA 10. So on one of the rarest cards of the set. So that's fantastic. Okay, so next up, we have the Charizard V-Star from Brilliant Stars as well. So we got another Brilliant Stars card here, another beautiful looking card, a rainbow rare here. This one is, again, beautifully, I think it's perfectly centered. I don't really see any issues with it. I'm going to say that this is probably going to get a PSA 10 as well. And this one gets a Gem Mint 10. All right, so we are 2 for 3 in the PSA 10 world. That is fantastic. So we got another PSA 10 here, a beautiful rainbow Charizard. Again, centering was much better than the Charizard V. So here we go, another PSA 10. All right, so now we've got one more here from Fusion Strike, the Mew VMAX, the other beautiful card from Fusion Strike. I think Gengar still takes the top spot here, but Mew is definitely a strong second place. And this one, in my opinion, looks very similar to the Gengar, so I'm going to say PSA 10 as well. Here we go. And, oh, it got a PSA 9. So I'm just going to look at this one over here. Yeah, I mean, you know, honestly, like it's very difficult to say. Maybe on the back, yeah, it could be because the back was a little bit less centered. We should look at those as well together. Ooh, there's a little bit of whiting here. Okay, that could probably be one of the reasons why it got that. Looking at the top here as well, a little bit of whiting there as well, maybe at the top here. But hey, I mean, you know what? Still got a PSA 9. It's not bad. It's really not bad, actually. By the way, the rest of these cards are all going to be evolutions here, and they're going to be primarily from Evolving Skies, with the exception of course, the Espeon, as that was from Fusion Strike. So we're going to find out what happens here, and we've got the starter here, which is Glaceon. Honest opinion, it's well centered. I'm gonna flip this to the back here quickly just to make sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't see any whiting or anything like that. It should get a PSA 10 in my honest opinion, and Gem Mint 10. All right, so we've got a Glaceon V getting a Gem Mint 10, our first one here. We've got a Moonbreon in here as well. So, I mean, we're hoping that one gets the 10. I'd be okay with a 9 as well, but I'm hoping that at least that one gets a 10. But here we go, Glaceon with a PSA 10. Beautiful, beautiful start here. All right, what do we got next here? Ooh, brother, what do we have here? So we've got the Moonbreon. We've got the beautiful, beautiful Moonbreon, and I have no idea what's going to happen here. I think this is perfectly centered. Genuinely speaking, I do not see any issues with this card. I'm going to flip to the back here. It looks perfectly centered on the back as well. It looks like there's a bit of whiting here, which may knock it down to that 9. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It just may knock it down to the 9. So we're going to find out here what happens. And we've got a PSA 9, which is what I anticipated here. Again, if you look on the back here, there's just a little bit of whiting on this card right here, and it got the PSA 9. I was hoping that at least it got a 9, and it does. It does get a 9, and I'm happy with that. It's not the PSA 10, but you know what? We will take a PSA 9 in the Moonbreon. Beautiful, beautiful card. next up is our Espeon V from Evolving Skies. Again, this one looks pretty centered to me as well. A little bit more on this side, but it should get a PSA 10. No whiting on this one as well. So we're gonna find out what this one gets, and it's a Gem Mint 10. All right, so a PSA 10 for Espeon V from Evolving Skies. That is beautiful. All right, next up is Leafeon V. Now, I'm gonna be straight and honest with you guys with this one. It is definitely off center, much more than some of the other cards that I've looked at. So I'm gonna be honest and say this is gonna be probably a PSA 9, and it is a PSA 9 for the Leafeon V. Next up, we've got the Umbreon V, another beautiful Umbreon card. This one as well is a bit off center. I'm gonna probably say it's going to be a PSA 9, and we've got a PSA 9 as well for the Umbreon V from Evolving Skies. Another beautiful card. Again, PSA 9, still a great grade. This is fantastic. Again, it was off center, so we did expect it to get that. All right, so now we are into some of the promos. We're going to see some of the promo cards here from the Sword and Shield era, which is the Vaporeon VMAX. From those premium collection boxes. So this one over here, the funny thing about these cards is if they get anything less than a PSA 10, they're worth between $30 to $50. And we got a PSA 9. All right, so again, the problem with these cards is they're very difficult to get PSA 10s in. This one I thought actually would have got a PSA 10. I'm just gonna look at the back here. Really and truly, I don't really see what the reason is that this one did not get a PSA 10. I'm looking at the bottom here. Really no reason. There is no whiting. It's actually really well centered. I actually can't believe that this got a PSA 9, in my honest opinion. Like, I actually agree with PSA for the Moonbreon getting a PSA 9, but this should not have gotten a PSA 9. That is very, very interesting. And no, not a single whiting here on any of the corners. I'm looking at this here. It's perfectly centered and everything. And perfectly centered on the back too. It's interesting. Okay, PSA 9 it is. Let's keep going here. So, next up is the Vaporeon V, also from the Ultra Premium Collection box. So we're going to find out what this one's going to get. This one is a little bit, I mean, I think it's centered in comparison to some of the other cards. You know what? Let's say PSA 10. Ooh, another PSA 9. Unbelievable. So this one over here, okay, to be fair, this one has a little bit of whiting. So if we look in the corner here, this one has a little bit of whiting. I don't know what's going on with these cards. These are, by the way, straight pulls from the boxes into sleeve and sent out. So really and truly, it's manufacturing defects. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. But you know what? PSA 9, not bad. We'll take that. Vaporeon V, PSA 9. Okay, here we go. So we've got Espeon VMAX from Fusion Strike. This is the one alternate art that did not make it into the Evolving Sky series. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I have no idea. The centering is off a little bit on this one as well. I'm gonna just quickly look at the back here. Perfectly centered. I don't see any whiting. So you know what? This one might actually get a 10. Let's find out here. And PSA 10. All right. So we didn't get the Moonbreon in a PSA 10, but we got the Espeon VMAX in a PSA 10, which is really amazing. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm not gonna deny that is pretty amazing. It's pretty awesome. I'm actually extremely excited about that. That's a great feel. That's a great feel. Espeon VMAX getting the PSA 10. That is beautiful. All right, next up is our Flareon VMAX. This one, in my honest opinion, is off centering completely. So I can't see it getting a PSA 10. It's probably gonna get a PSA 9, and yes, it does. A PSA 9 for this beautiful Flareon VMAX. Again, as I said, these cards are very, very difficult to grade. All of these promo cards that you get from these ultra premium boxes, 9 is usually what you're gonna get. 8 and 9 is usually what you're gonna get. And so far, we've gotten all 9s. Not bad, we'll take it though. All right, next up is Jolteon VMAX. This is a really nice card, actually. I really like this card as well. And again, the centering is a little bit better than the Flareon, I'm gonna say, just a tad bit. But let's have a look at the back here. No real whiting. A little bit on this side over here. Centering is fine as well. Maybe it's gonna get a PSA 9 as well. I mean, look, we haven't had much luck with the promo evolution cards, that is. So I'm gonna say PSA 9, and PSA 9 it is. So Jolteon VMAX also gets a PSA 9. It's a 9 kind of day. It's just a 9 day. 9 tails. Okay, let's keep going here. So we've got A couple more cards. Okay, so now we've got the Flareon V, which is not getting a PSA 10 guaranteed. I can guarantee you guys that this is not going to get a PSA 10. It's just completely off center. We're lucky to get a 9 on this bad boy. So let's see what happens here. PSA 9. All right, we'll take that. PSA 9 for a Flareon V. A beautiful, beautiful card. All right. We got one more here. We've got the Jolteon Jolt V from the premium collection boxes. This one is, again, way off center. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This would probably get a 9, but it's like even super off on the back as well. And even like cut poorly on the top here as well. Honestly, even if it gets less than a 9, I wouldn't be surprised. This is probably the worst card that I've looked at so far today. You know what? I'm just going to say 8 and see what happens here. And PSA 8, it is what it is. And you know what? Like looking at this card, in all honesty, like poorly cut there, off center here. It's like almost a misprint here, completely off here. Rounded cut here is not perfect. And it's still got a PSA 8. It's not bad. We'll take it. I mean, seriously, it's at least it's not worse than what we thought it would be. I think most of the cards got fair gradings. I had a lot of fun with this, and I enjoy sending my cards to get graded. Let me know in the comment section below whether you think these cards were fairly graded or not, and if you like to get cards graded. And don't forget to check out Katie Collectibles, as they have really great prices for getting your cards graded. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.